Look, I'll start buying you your drugs and your alcohol again. Just start making better art. We have a show very soon. I have a lot of money on the line.
What is art? As a manager, what have I done for Clark as a manager? You don't see me actually getting him a show, really. You don't see me doing anything but giving him drugs and being an enabler. That's my role. That's the role of the manager. What's the role of the artist? To be a character. Not only to be a character, but to go to that very limit, that very edge, where everyone wishes they could go, but you got your job and you got your responsibilities and you don't want to go there. And so the artist gets to go to that edge. But the problem is that a lot of times they get to that edge and they go past it and they never come back.
Anyone want a drink?
Where is the line between JC the character and James Curcio the actor?
There's a broad line. I mean, there's a huge line between the two. I'm not the same person as the character that I play on Clark. I'm a different person, and everyone keeps assuming that I'm the same character that I'm playing on the show, and that's acting. I mean, that's what acting is. When you drink something, when you get drunk, you're not acting. You're just drunk. You act. You can amplify. And there's fears inside of myself in terms of being an artist, being a successful artist, but you still have terror in the past, anyways. When you're younger and you're working on becoming better, and building a professional image, of becoming successful. So I took that fear and I really kind of took hold of it and tried to embrace that fear as the character of JC and use that as my motivation to take advantage of Clark in every way that was possible.
I mean, without me, you're on the streets, on a little flat, like gnawing on a bone somewhere, getting prostitutes, prying open the legs of homeless women, giving them heads, the grilled cheese
Imagine
sandwich.
being you. You're a fucking scavenger. Who
Scavenger.
preys upon...
I'm a businessman.
I'm playing a character, and I'm an actor. I'm a trained actor. I've been working at this my entire fucking life, and it really offends me a little bit that people just say, "Oh, well, you're just playing yourself or whatever." It's just no. I'm acting.
James Curcio has one role he can play, and that's James Curcio, and he has trouble stepping out of that. It's like Ice Cube. Whenever you see an Ice Cube movie, he's always playing Ice Cube. Yo, I'm gonna buck that fucking big-ass snake right in his motherfucking grill piece.
So, of course, there's a distinction. Am I drawing on my own experiences to play JC? Yeah, of course I am. I mean, that's part of the method. That's part of the basic method.
Right, that was going to be the follow-up question. Is JC an exaggerated aspect of yourself, or is it a total invention? Would you like some more cheese?
Yeah, I'd like... This is fig. It's fig and this is blue cheese. It's pretty good.
You did say on occasion that you developed your own unique esoteric acting method. Can you explain in detail what that means?
Well, to Clark, I'm an alchemical catalyst. But in general, this is a method that I developed when I started working at Juilliard before I was kicked out. They didn't really approve of my methods, and it's really not. I can't go fully in depth into it here in this interview. It's too elaborate, really.
So you were a maverick at Juilliard.
Yeah, I was trying to blend what I see as the psychodrama of occultism and esotericism, and I was trying to blend that with the theatrical elements of traditional method acting.
This is the laziest murder ever.
Yeah. What am I supposed to... he said to go like that, so that's what I'm doing.
Well, yeah, but with enthusiasm and a murderous look on your face.
Who is James Curcio? Who are you, James?
I mean,
take your time.
Who knows? I mean, who fucking knows?
There's an answer to the question.
What's the answer to that question? I mean, I'm moment to moment, you know, like I have an experience and I react to it, and if I'm playing a character, then I know who I am, but otherwise I have no fucking clue.
You have a person that expresses themselves that other people see, but when you go to bed at night, who is there with you?
Xanax. I can't sleep without Xanax. I mean, I can't. My mind's just running, and you know, like that, blood.
A little nervous.
Nervous.
Tense.
Alright, I can't talk about this right now.
When you go to sleep at night, whose voice is it that you hear? Who is there
His
with
voice?
you? Yes.
What are you talking about?
Who are you, James? Who is James Curcio? I'm not talking about who other people see. I'm talking about you.
I don't know. I spend hours staring at myself in the mirror, you know, trying to think that like I'm here, you know, and then you think you hear your voice in your head and you say this is me, you know, but you can make the voice whatever you want, and you can do whatever you want, you know. I could take this and I could cut your throat with it right now, you know, or I could make love to you.
In the show, you seem very enthusiastic about Clark's Falcard. In the real world, James, how would you interpret an artist such as Clark?
You mean if someone in the real world were exactly the way that Clark is in the show?
How would you feel about somebody's artistic expression if it was the same as Clark's character in the real world? I think that's a D.
Yeah, it's a resonant frequency. In the real world, I think if I met someone that was like that, I would think they were a total douchebag.
Do you think William Clark is always thinking about dicks?
Probably.
I mean, I see you're finally getting some work done.
This
But,
is a study.
I know.
This isn't
I
a
know,
finished product either. This is just something that I'm looking at
I
and
really
getting
can't-
inspired by.
I really can't believe that we that I
This
convinced
is
them.
fucking ridiculous.
I don't know how the fuck I convinced them. Each month, we're losing $65,000 on your work. So we need to start figuring out something that's a little bit more, like, you know, creative. Creative ways to do it. I mean, I don't know if you've ever considered prostitution.
I've wanted to work with William Clark for as long as I can remember. I mean, he's a genius. He's a creative genius. Mixing all these opposite elements. I mean, between you know, pop artists like Andy Warhol or Pollock, who throws things together and created these kind of personas of themselves, to you know, like Britney Spears and Caligula. You know, I mean, they're just kind of all blended together. William is a completely different person in real life. You know, he's a professional actor, and you know, his character. I mean, who he is in day-to-day life, he's very soft-spoken. You know, he gets a little annoyed when people call him Dick Guy because his thing's kind of taken off. But Daniel, I mean, we're all a little worried about Daniel. I honestly don't feel like I should talk about it too much, but like at the end of the production, we kind of blended into the fiction, fantasy, reality, whatever, just to finish the season. But he's not doing too well right now.
His style is very kind of raw and documentary, in your face, real life. I almost get the impression that he's not acting for most of it, whereas you guys are.
Well, he's not an actor. I mean, he works behind the camera. He's a documentarian. He's a cinematographer. He's an editor. He's really good at those things. But I think that the kind of the interrogative and esoteric approach that I use and that Clark uses is it kind of pulls you in, you know, and I just don't think he was ready for it.
And you're interviewing me right now with a fucking camera in my face. Is that what you're asking me right now?
I'm sorry, we set
I'm
this
sorry,
up.
you're a piece of shit.
I'm a doctor. This is okay. I'm gonna help you out. I'm gonna take off your pants. I'm not a centipede crawling up your neck and trying to swim inside your ear.
Yeah, I mean, like he he got pulled in. I mean, he's not used to being able to distinguish between himself and between the character that he's playing. He's not able to, I mean, he has no cult background or esoteric background. Daniel had no idea what he was getting himself into. Things got out of hand. I mean, our characters kind of took over, and I think William and I both knew what we were doing. You know, we knew that we were in character. We knew we were running with it. But Daniel, I mean, you know, I mean, there's some fiction and fact blurring going on in terms of what was going into his neurology from the beginning. You know, played him off of himself. You know, off of his ideals. You know, it was pretty transparent what he believed. You know, he had no experience outside this like limited framework of like, you know, this Christian cult bullshit, you know. And so William and I were pretty much at liberty to go into our characters and to, you know, use those characters to kind of manipulate Daniel's psychology, and that's part of the art project at the end. I mean, honestly, he was like a dancing monkey behind the camera.
Like, I was
Let's
watching
do that again, and James, this time, I'm a genius. Go.
Daniel is a genius. Daniel is a professional. Daniel is he's one of the most talented individuals I've ever worked with. Daniel has gorgeous tits.